Top aerospace managers are being replaced in Russia, and it is hard to describe a series of resignations among the aviation industry's most senior executives as a coincidence. The government's recognition of the dire state of domestic aircraft production is basically reflected in these dismissals. Yuri Slyusar was the first official to resign. He was relieved of his duties as the president of the United Aircraft Corporation (UAC) in early November, and subsequently appointed as the governor of Rostov-on-Don. We have made a video on this, and please check that out. We will link that in the description. Some in the Russian media say the fate of the former UAC director is telling. He does not exist in a vacuum or seclusion. He is a member of a politically influential group. Similar to other groups, this group has not disappeared. For example, the central bank's policies have effectively halted economic development in Russia. It is essential to understand that these organizations, which are not invested in Russia's progress, remain in their operations. Nevertheless, there is a degree of optimism regarding the future, as demonstrated by the dismissal of Slyusar's subordinates. News of additional cleanses in the industry's leadership this week corroborates this viewpoint. Andrei Boginsky, CEO of Yakovlev, and Konstantin Timofeyev, managing director of Tuplov, announced their resignations, according to the UAC's press service. Boginsky is also relinquishing his role as the deputy head of UAC for civil aviation. Boginsky was dismissed on orders from Prime Minister Mikhail Mishustin for the failure of the civil aviation program, according to Kommersant. A source clarified that Boginsky was accountable for certain unresolved issues that arose in the aftermath of the Aeroflot Superjet catastrophe at Sheremetyevo, such as the failure to implement the requisite structural reinforcements. Yakovlev will be directly supervised by Vadim Badeha, the new director of UAC, who will also serve as the manager of the MC-21 and SJ-100 projects. Simultaneously, Alexander Bobryshev, the deputy head of UAC for state defense orders and tactical aviation programs, will assume responsibility for Tuplov. Bobryshev was previously the CEO of the Kazan aviation plant and served as the leader of Tuplov from 2009 to 2014. The company cited the critical importance of civil programs and the urgent need to address tasks such as import substitution, certification, and mass production of domestic civil airliners as the reasons for the decision to centralize the administration of this program at UAC headquarters. However, the restructuring has not yet finished. In the middle of these extensive personnel changes in the aviation industry, Oleg Bocharov, the Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade, who is responsible for aviation, is also expected to resign by late January. Bocharov, who assumed his position in February 2017, was accountable for developing and carrying out aviation policy, the coordination of aircraft development, production, and testing, and the supervision of aviation innovation. Vasily Shpak, an additional deputy minister, will temporarily supervise aviation until a new deputy minister is appointed. Bocharov may assume leadership of the Federal Aviation Register or the Zhukovsky Institute following his resignation. These decisions were made in response to a comprehensive review of the aviation sector by Mishustin, who was reportedly furious. The Prime Minister underscored the pressing necessity of increasing the production of all types of aircraft, including the Baikal, updated superjets, Tu-14s, IL-96s, and IL-114s for regional lines at the Transport of Russia Forum. Mishustin's speech indicated a change in policy and strategy. In the past, career advancement and benefits were frequently contingent upon illicit financial transfers, known as kickbacks. Currently, these methods will only result in trouble. It is clear why Mishustin, the second most influential individual in the government, has to address this issue. The UAC's recent announcement of the dismissal of the leaders of Yakovlev and Tuplov is indicative of the intricate challenges that Russia's civilian aircraft manufacturing sector is currently encountering. The aviation industry's critical issues of component shortages and financial constraints will not be instantaneously resolved by these leadership changes, according to sources close to Kommersant. The dismissals seem to be a strategic maneuver to demonstrate to the government that the organizations are actively resolving the issues identified in a recent audit. According to the sources close to Rostec, These leadership changes are associated with more extensive challenges in the implementation of the civil aviation industry program. The future of this program is contingent upon the capacity to modify aircraft supply plans for early 2025, underscoring the substantial operational challenges that Russian aerospace manufacturers are currently encountering. However, others have a different view. Oleg Pantelev, editor-in-chief of the Aviport Agency, offers a nuanced viewpoint, contending that it may be unjust to exclusively attribute the current situation to the leaders of aircraft manufacturing enterprises. He underscores that the import substitution program's genuine difficulty is not with the aircraft makers themselves, but rather with the manufacturers and developers of component systems. The situation highlights the intricate, interconnected challenges of sustaining domestic aircraft production under sanctions, where supply chain disruptions and component shortages have become substantial impediments. The practical implications of the leadership changes are uncertain, but they seem to be part of a more extensive initiative to promote accountability and drive systemic improvements in the Russian aviation manufacturing ecosystem. Now, do you think firing the top management of Russian aerospace will help at this critical time? Let us know in the comments. Please like and share our videos and subscribe to our channel. Please also take membership in our channel to encourage us.